next. I think for me, blacks still seem a little too risky. Yeah, we had the first one at our school growing up, and they put him in learning disabled classes. How crazy is that?
Ever?
Yeah.
You guys had the first one ever? I doubt it.
We had one of the first 60 or 70. This was probably 1992. But he was always dribbling an invisible basketball.
No.
And they put him in class with the mentally handicapped kids. So you'd have at lunchtime, you'd have, a kid in a wheelchair. You'd have, a kid with DS. You'd have that, kind of blind kid with the stick, And then you'd have him just dribbling an invisible basketball, bro.
We're not racist, or I'm not trying to be. I have some flare-ups in traffic, but overall, I'm good.
See, guys, Theo isn't as racist as some of his haters claim that he is.
Really?
I try to commit suicide. I try to OD on a bottle of Theragram M. You know those
what
vitamins?
Is that? Those vitamins?
Yeah, I try to OD on vitamins.
And what'd you get? Just better?
Rather be blind or dickless, dude. These days, probably dickless.
Honestly, that's a pretty tough choice. So it's all the more confusing why Theo managed to make it so quickly. But hey, he's got a good story to go with it.
I had a blind kid in my neighborhood when I was growing up, and actually, this dude was deaf, actually. And they beat him up for doing bad magic. Because he was always doing all of this and shit, and people thought he was doing magic with no tricks, and they fucking beat him.
Out in the stand-up, and I always like making people laugh. Like I used to do a similar thing when I was a child. At the lunch table, we'd get some kids who were mentals, or a couple of them might have been mentals, and a couple kids that were well, and we get there and sit them to make them drink milk, and then tell jokes and do stuff until one of them just blew milk out of their face. And if you get some straight up just couple mentals, boy, some straight up sawed-off humans, dude, you get them to straight up blow leche out their dome, dude. That's America right there. That's when I knew I was like, I got some kind of a gift here, I almost blew the throat out of this one boy. Almost blew the throat out of this one boy named Tot. T-O-T was his name. Kind of a bad name too to be mentally challenged, but also easy for him to spell.
Vaughn isn't wrong, to be honest. What kind of name is Tot? That's like asking for your child to be bullied. But hey, like Theo says, at least it's easy to spell.
I wish I was blind. Sometimes you ever think that? But that the music's so good, because if you're blind, I bet it's just even better in there, And people were running, they're going, and we started telling people that the water was for Asian people only, right? Bro, we are crying, laughing, because people are running. They can't stop. They're trying to make a time. Some people will be like, bro, it's Asians only. And it was like, why? And then Asian people were all excited, and we kept dousing them up. Well, dude, look, bro, and the baptism, dude, I freaking still remember, dude. I remember taking a couple extra sips when I was under that water, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, dude, I'm staying down there. I dated a girl with a real small head one time. I wouldn't mind more of like a regular-headed woman.
Vaughn easily comes up with the most bizarre dating advice you can imagine. But like all of his stories, he's got a pretty good reason for saying that.
I dated a girl who had this little pin top. Sometimes when I was making out with her, I could kiss her, and my hands would touch under her chin and on the top of her head at the same time. And she was an adult, obviously. But I remember just like, dang, she got that cabbage ball. And I started thinking, how many ideas could she even have in this thing, in this hitter? I was always scared somebody with a T-ball bat was just going to roll up and just, try to knock a double.
Can you imagine being the girl watching this clip and finally realizing why Vaughn was so weirdly interested in the shape of your cabbage head?
Man, Mexican people work hard as hell, man. I gotta be honest with you.
Just as Theo is a huge fan of Asians, even giving them free water during marathons.
No complaining, just work hard. Dude, I went to a funeral of a Mexican guy. He climbed out of the casket, dug his own grave hole, and then got back in the casket, man. If I gotta do something, for example, I need to build a picnic table or an edible seating structure, table. I got 9 people to help me do it. If 6 out of the 9 people are Mexican, bruh, Andale, Papa, we getting it done. I'm telling you that we gonna be eating lunch early as a group. Look, I saw a Mexican guy cut down a tree, make it into wood, bars of wood, and then use the wood to he built a damn tree with it.
What's a country you might visit, man, if you ever could visit somewhere?
I would say Germany.
Okay. Would you ever go back to your homeland, your family's homeland, you think?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sure, buddy.
Theo has no filter, and it's so hilarious to see him call out someone's BS without even acknowledging it directly. He really is the master of subtle shade, and it's hilarious to see.
Don't do comedy right now.
Okay. I would probably get a
I'm your dad. I'm your son.
Okay.
Hey, Dan.
Bubby. No, you don't have to.
Do it. Sorry, just do it like me.
You don't have to have an Asian accent.
I don't know what country we're in.
No. You're you.
Okay, got it. I didn't know.
Out of nowhere, you're gonna have an Asian accent.
I didn't know what country we were in.
No, we're in America. Who gives a fuck?
Well, give me a setting then.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have to be that specific.
Yeah, you're just okay.
You live in Nashville.
Okay.
Your wife is white.
You're my son.
Yeah, I'm not Asian.
All right.
Make believe that I'm your biological son.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Chucky, what's up?
How was school, buddy?
Chucky's good.
Chucky's
Daddy.
good?
Yeah, Daddy.
How was school, huh?
School was great, Daddy.
I hear they're holding you back
They're
again.
holding me back, like fire, like sun, Daddy.
Do you have any children?
No children. Do you have any
You have a
children?
I don't have any.
You know
Want
about it, or that
children?
you-
Well, I would like to hatch a little bat sometime. I'm looking for a wife at some point.
Hopefully find one.
Oh, damn.
How old are you?
That sounded like, look, never mind.
Seems like not everyone is a fan of Theo's antics, especially not this lady who probably got left on red by Vaughn a while ago.
That's probably stole it
People
from him.
steal all my shit. Little Dicky.
Yeah,
everybody steals
maybe
my
shame.
shit.
Have you
Little
told
Dicky
that
steals
story?
your shit?
That
Have
show
you-
steals so many of my jokes, man. It's crazy.
Like the show Dave?
Actually?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
What's
fucked up.
one joke that you've seen that you're like, that's mine?
Too many.
All right, fair enough. Like the show Dave?
Actually?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
What's
fucked
what's
up.
one joke that you've seen that you're like, that's mine?
Too many.
All right, fair enough.
Wait, that's the Little Dicky show?
Yep, Dave.
He's stealing your jokes.
I don't know I don't know what's going on, but they got a lot of borrowed content up in that bitch. I'll say that.
You hate him.
I don't know him, but I know I don't borrow his shit.
No, fair enough.
Okay.
I remember the first day in our neighborhood, this dude, Milford, was fighting this senior citizen right in the street. Mr. Polito was his name. And he threw him into a fucking ditch fire. He threw him right in that bitch, dude. And then, bro, here's the craziest part. He fucking came out that bitch, dog.
On fire?
Yeah, people were fucking cheering.
Did stop, drop, and roll, or just go right back
He
into
went
the scrap?
straight at him, dude. He was like 200% Italian. He went straight fucking at him, bro. I mean, and people were so excited. People were just fucking and drinking Dr. Pepper, fucking and losing their shit.
Crazy.
Honestly, Dr. Pepper could make a whole ad just out of his concept because it'd definitely boost their sales by a ton.
Have a crab. Look at a crab, bro. The meat in that thing, so fresh, so nasty, bro, so naughty. Imagine being a crab, dude, and all you want to do is hug somebody, but you got them dangerous ass arms. Every night, I bet a crab dreams of just having soft arms where he could, stroke a woman's hair without giving her a crew cut or, touch a breast without having to, do a first aid kit. Imagine that crab just wishing he had soft arm. And then he wakes up and every time he got those just cold-hearted snakes, bruh. Them ice cold freaking clip digits. Carpal tunnel 7,000 every single time. What was your question, man? A cauliflower pizza?
I grew up in a Poway high school.
You grew up in a beautiful area of San Diego.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of white people, women didn't like
Why weren't
me.
you in Vietnam? Why weren't you closer to the fucking locust?
Another classic conversation between Bobby and Theo, and like so many of the other ones they've had, this also has to do with why Lee is Asian.
Dude, you know why, bro. I just was born here.
Okay.
I don't have no fucking choice.
Okay, dude.
I don't have no. I'm sorry. I have no fucking choice.
Robert, I didn't know if you guys had come over for something or if you were
No, I was
on like
born-
a foreign exchange thing. I didn't know, dude.
I was born. It happened to happen in Sharp Hospital in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. American citizen, yeah.
Yeah.
All day, every day, yeah.
That's what they do.
It's like, do Chinese people, do they have like...
Well, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
And I honestly believe this. I believe that you don't know what I am. Because several times in this podcast, you've referred to China, and then you look at me. Do you think I'm Chinese?
I don't know if you are.
No, be honest.
I don't
dude.
care if you are.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I know that you don't care that I am.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, I do care, but it doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter to you.
Yeah. You're welcome around me.
You love me regardless.
Yeah.
Right? But it is information that you should fucking memorize.
Okay, well, chill, bro.
Whatever you're fucking saying is, I'd be happy to fucking answer those questions, but memorize what the fuck I am.
Well, my bad, dude.
Now, even though Theo apologized, I think it's obvious they're going to be arguing over the same thing again in the very next podcast.